And if you have more text on the first part, so as you think you are a visual learner, visual dominant learner. And in the second part, it is which style do you prefer? Auditory, yes, auditorial learning style. Do you prefer auditorial style? And for the third part, if you have more text on this part, so you are kinesthetic learner. So let's get someone who has different learning styles. For example, N.Nihat, what's your auditory? Is it true for you when you think of your old experience for learning? Auditory. So for this test, you say maybe auditory. But you can observe yourself to do back, to your experiences. So when you have this experiences, so you can be sure about this. And yes, what about you, Mr. Yasin?
This test says I'm visual.
Visual. Is it true? Do you believe it's true? You learn easily. And what about Maria? What's your visual and a bit kinesthetic, you say. Is it true? Do you believe the result is true for you? Yes, you are a visual learner. Okay, and what about you? Audio and kinesthetic. Is it true? Do you believe that's true for you?
Maybe kinesthetic was more visual.
So, not audio you prefer. Okay. So, also it depends on the content, of the material. For example, if you learn about geography, about a country, maybe visual material will be more useful for everybody. Okay. So, there is also all theory. There's a pyramid of learning. If you, for example, just hear, you learn less. If you see, you learn more. And if you see, hear, and do the activity, you learn most. That's the learning pyramid. It's an old theory about learning. Okay, let's get on details of different learning styles. And in our project, we have 3 main learning styles. There are more also, but these are 3 main. They combine of different styles. First one is visual, and second one, what is the second one, Maria?
Sorry.
We are talking about learning styles. So, in our project, we have 3 main learning styles. One is visual. Auditory, yes. Audio learners, so we can say. And the last one is kinesthetic learners. Okay, what about visual? And have you got time? About time?
Yes.
Sorry, please. Sorry. Și importată și că s-a modificat la program și importată să ne vadă cu.
The schedule was modified and the press comes now and you can go on.
Okay, right.
So the press will come, take the interviews and you can go on.
Okay.
After, you can go on your own.
Okay. I'll try to finish that. Right.
So it's okay.
Okay, about visual learners, let's try to describe a visual learner. How does it learn? They best learn information by seeing them, as visual is called. And they have got vast visual intelligence, so they never forget, or they forget very difficultly with what they saw. Okay. And they have got difficulty while following the verbal instruction. A lot of verbal instruction is not good for visual learners. So, for example, if you explaining something as a teacher, you can write what you explain also for visual learners. And they think and speak fast. The visual learners think and speak fast. It's typical for them. And also they divided in some groups. For example, visual, when we say visual, but they are not verbal learners. Okay, the verbal visual learners. And they learn with the words and they try to make pictures of the words in their mind. And picture learners, these learners like to record the sounds and pictures as a camera in their mind. So these are picture learners, okay, as a visual picture learners. And also visuals have external learners, okay. They like eye contact with the teacher and they make pictures in their mind and they speak fast and monotone. And internal visual learners, and they organize information in their mind. They like dreaming and thinking. Okay? So these are internal visual learners. So they also divided in subgroups. And I'll try to give some clues that there are different ways to, but what we can do with visual learners, if we have learners of visual, they cannot get use of lecturing. So lecturing is very bad for visual learners. For example, they can have difficulty in history lesson if the teacher tells the lesson with oral, So they need some visual materials. And for example, just telling information and not writing on the board frustrates these learners. And they prefer reading themselves. Okay. Not hearing and record maybe, especially in English lessons. We have some records. For example, I'm a kind of visual learner and I had very difficulty learning or listening activities at the first time when I started learning English, because I couldn't see the words. But for English, we can show them the tape scripts of the listening activities. And they try to code information by trying to bring information visually in their mind. Okay? These learners try to bring information visually to their mind, make a picture of it. And for meaningful learning, information should be reinforced with visual materials. For example, maps, graphics, posters, sheets, or video are examples of visual materials. For example, if you are teaching them geography, you should show them some graphics of the topic. So they have difficulty, as you imagine, with a subject without seeing the information. And second style is audio.